live, and on your side. This is KTBS 3 News, Texarkana.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Johnette Magner. Drug courts in the state of Arkansas are getting help in the fight against the opioid epidemic. Today, Miller County received grant funds. The money is part of a $1 million award by the State Attorney General's office. The funds will be used to help those who have suffered from the ravages of opioid drug use. The 8th South Judicial Circuit Court was awarded more than $21,000. The funds will be used to provide restorative services to people in the adult drug court program, and that's including transitional housing, substance abuse and mental health services, child care assistance, and more.
We can help some of these folks get on their feet, get back to being productive members of the community, then that helps us as a whole, as a city, county, and state, to have everybody being productive.
Hopefully it will help stabilize people that are in these adult drug court programs and give them a firm foundation to continue their recovery.
The Arkansas Office of the Courts also delivered a supply of naloxone to be placed in every courtroom. Naloxone is a life-saving medication that can reverse an overdose from an opioid. And we'll have more news right after the break. The largest fresh egg producer in the U.S. is shutting down a Texas plant after bird flu was found in a flock of chickens. And it comes just days after a Texas man was sickened with that virus, likely from contact with a cow. The USDA says there are at least 11 confirmed cases in cattle herds across several states. Tim Pulliam has more.
Cal-Maine Foods, the largest producer of fresh eggs in the U.S., says chickens at its Texas plant tested positive for bird flu. The Mississippi-based company says it destroyed about 3.6% of its total flock, including 1.6 million egg-laying hens after the discovery at their facility in Palmer County, Texas. The company saying in a statement it's working with federal, state, and local leaders to mitigate the risk of future outbreaks while ramping up production at other sites to minimize disruption to its customers. Sick birds were also found at Herbruck's Poultry Ranch in Michigan. The company says the facility is being disinfected and sick flock has been separated.
What we need to know most is that this is a relatively low risk to the general population, and it's incredibly contagious between animals. And now that we have this human case here in the United States, senses and precautions have been heightened.
The case comes just days after state health officials said a person was infected with mild symptoms of bird flu following contact with cows.
The patient reported something called conjunctivitis, which often includes redness or itchiness of the eyes. And the symptoms of this influenza can be very similar to the typical influenza that we see.
The mammal-to-human case marks the first known case in the U.S. of this version of bird flu, according to federal health officials. The CDC says there is no evidence of human-to-human transmission, and the virus has not adapted or changed to infect a human.
The CDC has said the risk to human health from this outbreak is low. They're continuing to monitor and will continue to coordinate with relevant agencies and officials. This is, when it comes to the public health of the American people, we take that very seriously and we'll continue to track this.
According to the USDA, there are at least 11 positive cases in cows nationwide. This includes cattle in Texas, New Mexico, Kansas, and Michigan. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And that's a look at your news. Your forecast is next. Have a good night.
Turning out to be a nice evening across the areas, meaning the Texarkana region. We got some clear skies to report to you. Still a little breezy outdoors. Warmed up into the lower 70s. Winds, though, got up above 20 miles per hour. Forecast for your Thursday. Temperatures warm up there, likely above that 70-degree mark. Maybe about 72 to 74 degrees expected for that afternoon high temperature. Looks nice across the areas we work our way through the week. Looks nice for the weekend. For the most part, we'll have clouds increase. There's a chance of rain on Sunday. Doesn't look very promising, and of course we'll keep you up to date on what that forecast is looking like for your Monday eclipse day.